You know this title unification match you have with the Usos and RK Bro? Slight change. At WrestleMania Backlash, RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos and Roman Reigns.
I'll have a unification match. I just can't change it.
You will.
Let's try to make heads or tails of this whole thing about this the tag title unification bout being scrapped. So they had a contract signing.
Yeah.
And of course it went south.
Yeah, of course.
And it led to Roman making his way out after a brawl erupted between the two teams before any pen had even been put to paper.
Mm-hmm.
Roman comes out. He rips up the contract. Pretty says, it ain't happening. You're not getting what you want. So you take a match which could have... I'm guessing now Charlotte versus Ronda is like 1,000% going to main event this show.
Oh, you think that this one isn't?
No, I don't think so.
Why is
that? I think it's a tag match. Charlotte versus Ronda, and I quit match for the women's title. I feel like it's 1,000% gonna main event. But I feel like the tag title unification match, based on how they were building it, definitely could have.
It should have. It was a much bigger match than this. I agree. I think that Roman, if it's Roman Reigns, he's going to main event. I'd be kind of shocked if that didn't main event. But my best guess in terms of what happened, and I don't know, maybe Meltzer has something, I don't know. My best guess is they saw the ratings on Raw, and Vince freaked out about the idea of title unification, and he just wants to pop them because doing a thing where Roman ends up vacating the title, the WWE title, and then they have to do like, I don't know, a situation where somebody has a new title. You're always going to have that as a brief ratings pop, but Raw's ratings are in the toilet, and you'd think that like having Roman there would be enough for them, but they just need a gimmick to get the ratings back up for a week. That's all I can think, because why would they announce and advertise a unification match and then switch it to like this when that wasn't going to be the case in the first place?
Now, if it was a situation where they switched it in the process of switching it up the ante, everything on the line.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That's a different thing entirely. Then you're taking a unification bout, having all the belts in the line, and then you're making it a more important, prominent bout instead of just making it a 6-man tag match that could happen on SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
Like the segment
exactly
segment itself was fine. It was a perfectly enjoyable segment. I just don't get why they think this is an improvement over, maybe they didn't want. I saw a thing today. I didn't read the whole thing though, that they want to save Roman versus Drew for one of the major shows, like the stadium shows.
Mm-hmm.
Totally understand.
Yeah, right.
If that's what you want, you can still do that. You teased a Nakamura feud with Roman. I know everybody knows Roman's going to come out of that still with both those titles at the same time. They could be good matches.
They could be really good matches, and it could help. That a loss to Roman in a pay-per-view would do a huge thing for Nakamura.
Exactly.
Like, wouldn't you want that?
Exactly. They could still do that. And it felt like for a while they didn't know what to do, what feud they won for Roman next, and they just decided late, okay, Drew's next to get a title shot, and he'll be Roman's opponent through the summer. I get it, makes sense.
Yeah.
But you still could have done that, kept the title unification bout, have Roman face off against Nakamura, for instance, and maybe at the end of maybe also with the title unification, they didn't exactly know what they wanted to do with that yet.
There was you can tell when there's like a distinct lack of like a noticeable story beat. Like it was a kind of thing where they announced unification, or Roman teased tag title unification, and then along the way Roman gets cold feet because he's like, I don't want them to have the accolade I have. If it was something like that where there was more of a story beat behind the change.
It was Roman who pitched the Usos to go after the Raw tag titles to begin with.
I know.
It was his idea.
To me, that this screams somebody changed their mind, Vince, about what he wants. And maybe he looked at the late, and I understand that like the NBA is tough competition. I get that. Yeah. But they never really seem to care about what the competition is. They want their ratings at a certain level. And maybe the idea is they're gonna vacate the title somehow. I honestly don't know. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I was really looking forward to tag title unification. I thought, wow, a tag match feels important. This is a big deal. I thought that was for sure going to main event the show. And then when you sent me, because I didn't watch SmackDown until the next morning, you sent me that thing, and I was like, fucking what? Like, not even winner takes all?
I know. So Ultra Zero Star here in chat says, RK Bro won most of the build for the unification match. Maybe Roman had cold feet. There's still 2 weeks. There's still 2 weeks to build for that bout that you could have the Usos find a way to turn the table. They could injure one member of RK Bro. There's things you could do.
And here's the thing. That's actually a really cool story beat. If he's like, man, Riddle's beating both you guys. These guys are... But, like, I feel like if there was a storyline, if this was a planned story, which is always preferable, if it was a planned story, Roman would have taken a beat and been like, I mean, he did, I guess last week, he was like, what the hell happened? And he was like, oh, I slipped. It's a one-time thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like there needed to be more consistency with Roman expressing disappointment that this continues to happen. And then he's the guy that says, you don't deserve, like, I have no faith in you, that unification, as opposed to him coming down and then making it something that it isn't. Maybe we'll get more on Raw tonight. Maybe he'll explain that, hey, I didn't want this.
I mean, that's the only thing advertised for Raw tonight so far. It's
still weird the way that they've approached it. I mean, I thought we were going to get you. It's with understanding that Vince McMahon doesn't usually like to tease stuff that's not going to happen. That's sort of what it comes down to, is like Vince doesn't even like people feuding on Twitter if there's not a match that's going to happen because of it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why would they say, hey, we're going to give you, the crowd, this match, and then it doesn't happen? Because title unification is kind of a big deal.
It is a huge deal. Yeah. And they were actually doing a pretty good job of making it feel like a huge deal.
I know. I was buying into it, and they flipped the script on us.
Now they pulled the rug out from under you. Otherwise, SmackDown was all right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald, here to tell you to go support Going In Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the weekend wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.